Okay, today we're talking about the RØDE Wireless Pro. This right here is probably what I refer to as the dual microphone, dual channel wireless mic that is pretty much the top tier for the prosumer filmmaker out there. And for full transparency, RØDE did send this to me to review, so thank you, RØDE. This is the Wireless Pro from RØDE. We're gonna be talking about this, obviously, but they did not pay for this review. They did not pay me to say good things about it. So anything that I talk about in this video is purely my own opinion, in that they didn't pay me to say anything on here, or they didn't ask me to say anything on here. But as you know, I don't talk about things on this channel unless I see value in it. So there's your spoiler alert. But let's talk about this real quick. Okay, so we got two different accessories here. This is the accessory pouch, and then also we have the charging case right here. So what's so special about this microphone setup here? You're gonna see a lot of reviews online about this and tutorials. I'm not gonna get fully in depth. I'm not even gonna go really in depth at all. I'm just gonna talk to you about what I like about this and how it works in my workflow. So what comes in the charging case right here, you have two transmitters, so two microphones that you can clip onto you or wear, and then you have one receiver right here, and this will attach to your camera to send the audio to. So the way this works is this charging case right here, it has a charging block on the back. Also, if I press this, it'll tell you battery status as well. But you can also plug this whole thing with the two transmitters and the receiver in there and plug it into your computer, and you could drag files off of there, and you could change different options in there if you wanted to turn off 32-bit internal float. Let's talk about these right here. I'm just gonna open this up. So if I pull these out, you'll see there is the receiver, and then these are my two microphones, these transmitters, and it charges via USB-C inside, and also in the back, you have that USB-C as well. Okay, should I talk about the accessories right now? Yeah, let me do that, actually. I'm gonna set these to the side. Let's talk about the accessories. So you have this kind of thicker USB-C cable, and with this thicker USB-C cable, and this is the one that you wanna use to plug into the charging case, just like that. You can charge this or plug this into your computer. So there is that larger USB-C cable, it's a little thicker. And then I have this right here, it's USB-C to USB-C, and another like similar weight of cable. This is Lightning to USB-C. So obviously you could use this and plug this into an iPhone, or you can plug this into an iPhone as well, USB-C. And what you would do is you would actually use the receiver, plug this into here, and then with my phone, wherever that is, here's my phone, is I can plug this into here. So now with the receiver on this end, let me clear this out. I now have my phone with the receiver, and I can have this propped up on a tripod filming me, and I can wear one of these two mics to film myself, and just put this on myself and give this to somebody else to get their audio as well. And that information is transmitted over to the receiver right here going into my phone. So that's the way that works. Anyway, that was a long way to get there with the accessories here. And I like to keep those just in this area. I'm gonna put this one right here because I don't necessarily use a Lightning phone. iPhone 15 Pro, baby. USB-C. Okay. I'm gonna put this USB-C cable back in. You also have this 3.5 millimeter headphone cable right here. And kind of the same thing is you can plug this into the receiver and then plug this into your camera or anything. But also, if you have the right cable, you can use this for time sync as well. And I'm not gonna go into time sync, but for you experts out there, there's some good videos out there that show you how to do that. Because personally, I haven't used time sync. And then I have a microphone set up here. You get a lav mic. You also get this microfiber cloth from RØDE, pretty cool. And then you also get another lav mic, and there are actually a few dead cats in here. So these two right here, you'll see has a different adapter than on these, because these ones are round. Because if I grab one of the microphones right here, these are the ones that go onto there, and they fit on there. And I can clip this on and wear it because it's a dead cat. I like to pronounce dead cat like it's a dead cat, just to throw people off that don't know what I'm talking about. And then these other two dead cats, if you look at this transmitter right here, on the top as you're wearing this, and if you wanted to wear it, you have the microphone right there, and I can put this dead cat right on the top. And I believe there's like a twist lock. There you go, I twist, and that way the dead cat doesn't come off of it. So there's a couple of dead cats, 4 of them in particular. There are these soft covers for them, but also these clips that go onto the bottom of the microphone cable right here. So when you have this plugged in, you can kind of identify, looking at the transmitter, which one's which if you have two different people wearing these. Then last but not least in here is I have one of these per transmitter. And what they are is, if I slide this off, I can take the transmitter, slide this onto the bottom, so that now there's a metal piece on the back of it. And this is really just a magnet for the backside. And so I could either clip this onto my shirt, or I can use the magnet and put it on as well. So if this was my shirt, I can put the microphone right there, and I can put the magnet on the back, and now that microphone holds into place. That was kind of nice. This works as a demo tool. I didn't even think about that. Okay, so those are all of the accessories. I'm just gonna put these to the side real quick, because let's talk about the receiver and the transmitters. So as I mentioned, you get two transmitters and you get one receiver. And I'm really gonna dumb this down for you, is these two will transmit audio to this receiver. Pretty much, that's as dumb as I'll dumb it down. So with the receiver, as I mentioned before, you could use this for timecode sync. As you plug this into all of your different cameras, you can do a timecode sync, so that way when you're in post-production, the time codes can sync together. So that's pretty cool. That's not what I use it for, but as I mentioned, that's why this is a prosumer tool, is that, you know, it works from consumer level, but all the way to the pros that need something like that. I don't use it personally, but maybe someday when I make a movie, I just might. Who knows? We'll see. But let's take a look at the physical specs right here. You have the power button on the top, and then on the side, you have the logo. Down here, you have volume, and also you have a second option right there. And then this side has a USB-C port, as well as that headphone jack. So you can also monitor your audio, which I do want to test this out for that. Okay, so that is the receiver. And then as you can see on the top here, you have the audio monitoring there for 1 and 2. Those are your microphones. It also shows you the battery status on there as well. So that's kind of cool. So now let's talk about the transmitters. You get two transmitters. These can actually work independently without the receiver if you didn't want to. It has 32 gigabytes of internal storage per transmitter. And what you can do is you can record over 40 hours of onboard recording time. And on top of that is the 32-bit float internal recording. Okay, let me explain this to you, what 32-bit float does. Is that you can talk really loud or really quiet, but the microphone will pick up a longer range of the floor and the ceiling of the audio, so that when you're in post-production, you almost don't lose anything. So the way I like to think of it is, if I'm doing an interview with somebody, one person's talking louder, one person is talking quieter, I could fix that in post and not lose anything, because otherwise, when I have recorded in the past without a 32-bit float recording, is that I'll either cap somebody off, or I'll bring up the audio too loud to where I start to hear a bunch of white noise there. But this way, it actually gives me a lot more data to work with. If you're familiar with raw photos and photography, think of this as raw audio. If you're familiar with shooting and log profiles for videography, think of this as log video. It just gives you a wider range to work with when you're in post-production, just to make sure you don't miss anything. And I, for one, since I do a lot of video, I do not want to miss anything. Okay, so that's 32-bit float internal recording. Okay, right here you have the recording start, stop. You have this light right here showing that it's connected. You have a recording light right there showing if you're recording. You have your microphone on here. So this is if I want to wear this. I could just wear this alone and hit record. And this is my little audio recorder. I remember when I was a kid and Home Alone 2 came out, and he had like this recorder that was like this big to record audio. Well, this is all you need right here. So there's that. And then you have the lav mic adapter right there. So you can attach the lav mic, which we'll do in a second here. This side is a USB-C port, hence the USB icon right there. You have power on the bottom, and yeah, and in the back, you have this little clippy, so you can clip this onto your shirt, or as I showed you before, you can use this as the magnet on the back and attach it to your clothing that way. So between transmitter and receiver, there is a range on there. I haven't hit the limits yet, but let me show you how far I was able to take this thing. Okay, I've got the mic here in my hand, and I can clip it on my shirt, which I'll just do that in a second here. And you'll see I'm literally just right next to my car here. I'm right next to the camera, and I have the microphone receiver all the way up there. And you know, there is a good range of how far that this microphone can cover, but I'm just gonna show you, like, I'm never really gonna be too far away. But let's test the ability here of the microphone as I kind of walk further away. I'm still recording on the microphone. And what you're hearing right now is this is just a straight transmission from the microphone that I'm wearing, as we've been talking about, to the camera. And now I'm like really kind of far away now. I'm gonna go over here to the sign to read about this waterfall right here. If you've ever been up Provo Canyon here in Utah, this is Bridal Veil Falls. And let's see, it says, many moons ago, an Indian named Norita and a brave from a rival tribe named Gray Eagle met and fell in love. There's a whole paragraph here, but I don't need to read the rest. But that's the microphone. I have it attached here. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna hold it, as you see a lot of creators out there do. They hold the microphone in front of them like this, and then they talk to the camera. But I mean, that's a good distance away. You can see like there's a few car lengths between us. But yeah, just wanted to test the distance. I didn't do like the max distance that this thing could do, but I did want you to kind of get a good idea of how far this thing can reach without losing connectivity, or as Apple likes to say, connectivity. There's also a road right up there, a freeway right up there, so you can hear cars. You'll hear the white noise around me and the waterfall back there. But yeah, here we are, we're back. Okay, lastly, let me show you these accessories that go with it here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this lav mic that comes with it, which is a really great lav mic, is that I could plug this in right here. But the best part is I could twist this onto there, and now this doesn't come undone. I have maybe once or twice filmed a video with someone laved up and they drop the recorder and it becomes unplugged, and then we have to kind of go through the whole setup again. So it's nice that it has this extra security of having this locking mechanism on there. And then on this side, I have the lav mic, and then I can put my dead cat on there if it's a windy day, and then I can clip that on and just wear that as I'm talking. And now this audio goes to there. So that is pretty much how that works. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention was when these are fully charged, you can get up to 7 hours of usage out of them. And then when you charge them in the case, you could charge them twice. So that gives you double the amount. So you have 7 hours fully charged, then you can charge up to 14 hours inside of here. So that's a good 21 hours of recording that you can have with this setup here on the go. I bet you can even film like a whole weekend of production without even charging it, which I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend charging it because I'm so paranoid on shoots that after a long shoot day, I go back to the hotel room and I charge everything back up again. But yeah, 21 hours of battery. So that's pretty good because you're not going to be recording that straight time all the way through. Okay, so as I mentioned before, is you can use the receiver and plug this into your camera by using this cable. And also, I wanted to see something here. I have, hold on. Let's say I want to monitor the audio. I can take my headphones, plug this into the receiver, and let's see. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so this is really cool. Okay, so now I got this like long Milli Vanilli style cord here, but I could totally hear the audio out of here on my wireless headset. So let's see, where would I use this setup? Is if I knew I was going to be recording 32-bit float, I would be doing that internally because that's where you get 32-bit float is internally in each of these. So I would record manually and clip these onto my subjects, and then I could just monitor as I'm behind the camera and hear them as I'm filming them. That's pretty cool. Okay, last but not least, what I could do with the receiver is I can actually just put this, and this fits into the cold shoe mount or the hot shoe mount on your camera, and you can plug this in for audio so that you get a good transmitted audio from the transmitter to the receiver, so you have really good audio quality when you're plugged into the camera. But what I would do is, even though I have that setup going, I would also hit record and start recording 32-bit float internally here as well. So you have a backup audio. So you get audio that's feeding to the camera like this one is right now. And then you also have internal recording as a backup because I'm telling you, you gotta have backups. Redundancy was never a bad thing. Sure, it takes up space, but you will always regret missing the shot. You will never regret over preparing. That's what I say all the time to my kids. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the Rode Wireless Pro? Is that I really do believe that this is the top dog when it comes to dual channel microphones. This is it right here. I think that there's so many features in this, and I'm obviously not a pro at this, but there's so many features that if you watch other videos out there that walk you through step by step how to do things, and there's a lot. There's more than I could explain. Heck, there's more than I've taken advantage of as well. But for me, the 32-bit float internal recording, the threaded connector on here with the lav mics that are included, like this is all included, and the size that it comes in, honestly, this is the winner for me. I think that if I was in the market, obviously I'm not because I get to review a lot of fun stuff, but if I was in the market for a microphone setup like this, the Rode Wireless Pro is the top dog. And sometimes you don't need the top dog in what you're doing, but I like to have the nicest things just to cover my bases to make sure that I get the quality that I want to get without second guessing myself. There are good contenders out there and it's a close race, but I do believe that the Wireless Pro is the winner of them all for the prosumer market. Like I would take this to a video shoot and I'd feel good with the quality I get and also the look of it, as I want to look professional when I'm out in the field as well, working with clients and such. So if you want to learn more, I'll have an affiliate link in the description below. Obviously, I get a kickback from there. If you purchase through there, it doesn't cost you anything. I want to say thank you again to Rode for sending this out to me. Honestly, I use it majority of my time while I'm filmmaking, and so I'd highly recommend it. Anyway, if you found value in this video and want to see more stuff like this, talking about camera and tech, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, share it, do whatever you can to help me kind of grow this little YouTube channel of mine here that we can talk about camera and tech. And really, I really appreciate you swinging by. So thanks for watching and peace.